Hello and welcome to another Dragonstorm video. And today we're going to continue our series looking at Magic the Gathering personalities and streamers. And we're going to look today at the Mana Leek. And that is Leek, L-E-E-K, as if it was the vegetable. And John from the Mana Leek has been a staple in my Magic knowledge and career ever since I started drafting. When I began, I was first directed by people at my LGS to limited resources. I found that helpful, but I am such a visual person that I needed to have someone there to kind of walk me through it that I could look at and cards that I could also see. So John from the Mana Leek did a great job of doing set reviews and drafted on MTGO, Magic the Gathering Online, when that was the only option. And now he's transitioned over to Magic the Gathering Arena as well. And he did a draft recently involving the card. It was an artifact called Relic Amulet. And he had multiples of them, and it was wonderful. And it got me thinking about that card in particular. It resonated with me, and I had an idea for a drawing, so I'm going to be drawing part of that for you here today. It's also part of the reveal video. So as you can see here, I've got his head. He's looking wonderfully sassy, as he often is on stream. And I'm going to be drawing the rest of the picture, at least for about 10 minutes or so. I find that 10 minutes is a good length of time for one of these videos. Otherwise, people tend to get a little bit antsy and leave early. So let's keep it to 10 minutes. So one thing you may have seen before online are pictures where artists have taken a human body and divided up into different segments by the top or length, I guess, of the head. And I'm a big proponent of that as well. I think that it's important to view those as averages, though, as guidelines. And they are fluid. Like, for example, I am about 7 heads tall. And that's just my body proportion. Some people are 6.5, some people are 7.5. Superheroes tend to be 8 to 9 heads tall because they're just bigger. So I'm going to stick with the 7 heads tall personally, but you as an artist hopefully will find your own way which works for you. So generally speaking, the first head is obviously the head of the subject, and the second head tall is from neck and upper chest. So we're going to put a line right here, which is roughly, yeah, his beard's probably taking up a bit of space there too. So yeah, about that. And that's where the pectoral muscles are going to end. And if we do that one more time, again, accounting for beard length there, his belly button normally would be the next head tall, but that's off the page at this point. So we're gonna stick with this. I really wanted to have John as if he was doing a Superman pose, pulling back his dress-up shirt to reveal the Relic Amulet beneath. And I've got a picture of that Relic Amulet for reference too. So I'm going to start by putting in the clavichord, and that is that V-shaped thing that we have just below the neck. And we've got our tendon over here, which comes right down to it. And a lot of these lines, you're going to notice, I draw in, but then I erase because they're very, very faint. We want the line to be very, very subtle. And we'll give him a little Adam's apple over there as well. And I'll put that line in and give it a little bit of an erase as well. And as always, when I'm drawing, I'm very keen on drawing lightly at first, because when we draw lightly, we can erase more easily, which is important. He's kind of looking like, what's that actor's name from 300? Jared, oh man, I have to look that one up for you. He's looking very buff at the moment. But again, these are just lines to help me get a sense of proportions. My background comes from comic book art. I love comic book style, so I tend to do a very comic booky sort of physique at first, and then I can adjust as necessary. But, you know, if we make him a little larger than life, I don't think he's going to mind too much anyways. But you can kind of see, just I'm mapping out where things are. But if we just have a page, the abs, if he has 6-pack going on there, would be just above the belly button there. And although when I first drew that in, it might have looked very low for the pectoral muscle, that's essentially where it is. And one thing I had a heck of a time with when I first started drawing people back when I was in high school, I would make the head too big. And that's, I think, a very real problem and thing that people will do, because we're so used to looking at people's eyes and faces when we talk to them, we tend to overemphasize the head and underemphasize the rest of the body, for most people anyways. Now, he's actually going to be pulling his shirt. See, this is what happens a lot too. I start talking and I forget what I'm doing. So he's pulling his shirt back here, so his arm is up a bit higher. This is where the wrist is. What is this? I'm blanking. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. Thumb. And then he's pulling that shirt. Now that hand looks a little bit big as well, so I might kind of just scale that back a little bit. There we go. And as he's pulling back the shirt, we're going to be able to see the Relic Amulet underneath. And just kind of mapping out where things are going to go. And that's how I start. And it looks really rough, really, I mean, you can tell what's going on, but it is certainly not very well refined yet, but it will get there for sure. All right, so I've got a picture here on my phone of the Relic Amulet, as well as many other pictures I'm planning on doing. So for you eagle-eyed folks there who can see, I've got tons of other pictures on the go, different portraits I'm gonna try and get done here. So I'm not, oh, sorry, I knocked into the camera there. I'm not gonna draw the shells of the merfolk there. I might actually give him some armor though. Why not? He's a Magic the Gathering. We'll make him like a, I don't know, some sort of Izzet mage or something perhaps. But the actual Relic Amulet kind of reminds me of one of those hedrons. It's got the diamond sort of shape to it. So we can kind of see it coming along here. One of the purposes of these videos as well is not just so much for me to talk and draw, but also to kind of show off how I do things. And I am not suggesting even for a moment that my way is the only way of doing it, but there is certainly something to be said for watching someone who, you know, has some experience and who enjoys their work and can talk about it. And, you know, at first anyways, emulating that, you know, trying their way out before you kind of work out your own style, your own way of doing things. And if that helps any of you artists out there, great. If you're just watching for the commentary and me to talk about the Mana Leek, that's totally fine too. I would love to know if you have a favorite play. If you watch the Mana Leek, what sort of thing, either generally or specifically, what you've seen John do on that channel, which is really, you know, either made you really happy or maybe, I don't know. It looks a little bit big, but then again, I mean, you know, it's pretty big in the picture too, so we'll go with that. One of my, I wouldn't say as favorite plays, but one thing which I learned very quickly from watching the Mana Leek was land, and not only land, what do they call that, flooding, but also being mana screwed. When I first started playing Magic, I was under the false impression that Magic was skill-based entirely. You had to build that deck, you had to build it properly. I did make that too big, I think. I'm gonna make that smaller. And luck didn't really have much to do with it. And it wasn't until I watched some Mana Leek videos and I saw, and it was maybe it was just an MTGO, Magic the Gathering Online, or maybe it was just the luck that he has. But you know, he very often would have land trouble. And that really made it apparent to me early on that that's just part of the game. It happens. And although he certainly got frustrated every now and then with that happening, it was good to see someone go through that for a play point of view, to realize that it wasn't just, you know, something I went through, something which happens in the game, and you can't help that. It's just kind of the way it is. So it looks like there are little miniature conch shells holding that amulet up. And again, you know, I'm not okay with that. He's not a merfolk, he's a human being. Although I guess we could make him into a merfolk. That could be interesting. But I'll definitely have to play around with that a little bit more. So another thing I've learned from doing these videos is that 10 minutes is really not a long time when you're drawing. So we have hit that 10-minute mark. I'm going to stop there for the moment, but I do want to just say that if you have been doing any of your own drawing with these videos, and I hope you have, then I'd love to see the work you've been doing. So if you post those to Twitter, or if you want to make your own videos, or you want to link me something, I'd love to see where you're at with that, because it's really gratifying for me to sort of see other people be inspired by these videos too. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will post a picture now of the final version of the drawing. We can see how it evolved and changed, but the point is that it starts really rough. It starts looking, not that impressive, but it gets there over time. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel the need to support the channel, please do so with a like, maybe share it. I'd love a subscription if that's on the table for you. Thank you so much for watching though. Have a great day. Bye-bye.